Iran-Israel war live updates. Israel suffered heavy losses in Iran attack. World leaders are urging Israel not to retaliate after Iran released an assault regarding loads of drones, ballistic missiles and cruise missiles. British Foreign Secretary David Cameron instructed the BBC on Monday the UK does no longer support a retaliatory strike, whilst French President Emmanuel Macron stated Paris will attempt to persuade Israel that we have to not reply by using escalating. The Iranian attack on Saturday marked the first time Iran has released an instantaneous army attack on Israel, in spite of decades of enmity courting lower back to the U.S. 1979 Islamic Revolution. The attack befell less than weeks after a suspected Israeli strike in Syria that killed Iranian generals in an Iranian consular building. An Israeli military spokesman stated that 99% of the drones and missiles released by using Iran have been intercepted. Israel and Iran have been on a collision course during Israel's 6-month battle against Hamas militants inside the Gaza Strip. The conflict erupted after Hamas and Islamic Jihad, two militant groups subsidized via Iran, done a devastating pass-border attack on October 7 that killed 200 people in Israel and abducted 250 others. An Israeli offensive in Gaza has induced big devastation and killed over 3,700 humans, according to nearby health officials. Pro-Palestinian demonstrators block visitors into Chicago Airport. Chicago, seasoned Palestinian demonstrators blocked a limited-access highway leading to 3 Chicago O'Hare Worldwide Airport terminals Monday morning, briefly preventing vehicle site visitors into one of the nation's busiest airports and inflicting complications for tourists. Protesters linked hands and blocked lanes of Interstate 190 around 7 a.m., an indication they said changed into part of a global financial blockade to loose Palestine, in line with Rivka Falana, one of the organizers. Comparable demonstrations blocking a freeway in California's Bay Area also passed off Monday. O'Hare warned tourists on the social platform X to take opportunity forms of transportation with car journey, notably behind schedule this morning due to protest hobby. UN Protection Council worried approximately threat of escalation. United Nations. A United Countries Security Council assembly on Yemen on Monday touched on the chance of escalation after Iran's attack on Israel. Diplomats are calling this a especially risky second within the Middle East, as UN unique envoy for Yemen Hans Grunberg stated. The want for broader nearby de-escalation is acute, he introduced. The Secretary well-known's alarm approximately the very actual hazard of region-wide escalation, and his urging to all events for optimum restraint. A UN Protection Council Emergency Assembly Sunday to discuss the attack ended without any movement taken. Now is the time to defuse and de-escalate, UN Secretary Trendy Antonio Guterres stated. Now is the time for max restraint. Iran had approximately 150 ballistic missiles able to accomplishing Israel from Iranian territory, and appears to have used up most of that present-day stockpile in its weekend attack, retired General Frank McKenzie, the former head of U.S. CENTCOM, stated Monday. McKenzie discussed the attack in a panel discussion with the Jewish Institute for Countrywide Safety of the United States, a Washington primarily based think tank and lobbying institution. McKenzie argued that Iran's expenditure of these 150 lengthy-range missiles, out of a complete ballistic missile stockpile of about 3,000, confirmed that Iran's barrage on Israel became a maximum attempt. It became an indiscriminate attempt. The US and its companions inside the place are without difficulty able to music while Iran brings its ballistic missiles out of garage and positions them on launch pads, he stated. When Iran launches, deep area sensors stumble on that right away, he said. Radars within the area then catch when any missiles spoil the radar aircraft, he said. Mainly given the distance worried, it's miles difficult for Iran to generate a bolt from the blue in opposition to Israel, Mackenzie said. Israel pledged that it will exact a charge from Iran because the USA weighs its reaction to an unheard-of overnight barrage of drone and missile moves, whilst going through global pressure to de-expand. In a single-day attack, which noticed Tehran release a sequence of strikes at Israel over a 5-hour period, threatens to tip the disaster within the Middle East into an untempered nearby battle. Israel's war cabinet has been legal to reply to the assault and met on Sunday with one in every of its individuals, Benny Gantz saying the occasion is not over. He stated the need to build a local coalition and specific a fee from Iran in a way and at a time that suits us. Israel's protection minister Yoav Gallant earlier stated Israel had thwarted this assault in a way this is remarkable, but we ought to be prepared for every scenario. In his first comments, Israeli top minister Benjamin Netanyahu said, "We've got intercepted, we've got contained. Collectively we shall win." An Israeli reliable one informed CNN that Israel will reply to Iran's attack, however the scope of that assault has yet to be decided. The respectable stated Israel is but to determine whether to try to ruin all the dishes or do something more measured. But Israel is being advised via Western allies to deboost an intensely fraught scenario on Sunday and close, at the least for now, a weeks-long chapter of uncertainty and war of words that had spiraled out of Israel's battle with Hamas, that has killed greater than 33,000 Palestinians in Gaza and caused a humanitarian catastrophe in the enclave. Iran says next assault will be an awful lot larger. On Sunday, Iran said a new equation in its antagonistic courting with Israel have been opened, and warned of an awful lot larger attack at the United States ought to Netanyahu decide on a tit-for-tat assault. We have decided to create a brand new equation, which is that if from now at the Zionist regime attacks our hobbies, property, personalities, and citizens everywhere, and at any point we can retaliate against them, the commander of the Islamic Innovative Protect Corps, IRGC, Hossein Salami, informed Iranian state television. The Zionist regime is a time period Iran uses to consult Israel,